Welcome back, everybody. You're here at Behind the Fame, and today's featured video spotlight is on legendary actor Basil Rathbone. We all remember Basil Rathbone. Who doesn't love Basil Rathbone? So join us as we celebrate his life and career. What an extraordinary career of Basil Rathbone. Basil Rathbone was an English actor born in South Africa and raised in Derbyshire, who became famous first as Shakespearean stage performer, and then in over 70 films, especially costume dramas, swashbucklers, horror movies, and as cinema's best-known Sherlock Holmes in 14 films, and a long-running radio series. He frequently played suave or menacing villains in the 1930s and 1940s, earned 2 Oscar nominations for supporting roles, shared a Tony Award in 1948, and ultimately received 3 stars, not 1, not 2, but 3 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for film, radio, and television. Early life and wartime service. Rathbone was born in Johannesburg in 1892 to English parents, but his family fled to Britain when he was a small child after his father was suspected of spying for the Boers. Educated at Repton School, he began in insurance before turning to acting, then served with the London Scottish and Liverpool Scottish in the First World War as an intelligence officer, winning the Military Cross for daring daylight reconnaissance missions, and being deeply scarred by his younger brother's death in combat. Stage and early film career. He made his stage debut in 1911 and built a strong reputation in Shakespeare and other classics in Stratford-upon-Avon, London, and on Broadway, including star-making appearances in The Swan and later in plays with Katharine Cornell. His film career began in the silent era in the 1920s, and with the coming of sound, he moved into prominent roles in prestige pictures such as David Copperfield, Anna Karenina, A Tale of Two Cities, Captain Blood, The Adventures of Robin Hood, and The Mark of Zorro, where his refined villainy and expert fencing became trademarks. Sherlock Holmes era and later work. From 1939 to 1946, Rathbone headlined a celebrated Sherlock Holmes series, 2 films at Fox set in Victorian times, and 12 at Universal, updated to contemporary settings, while simultaneously playing Holmes in the radio show The New Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Typecasting eventually frustrated him, and he returned more heavily to stage and character work, but he later embraced the association, spoofing his image in films like The Court Jester, doing Holmes-themed commercials and recordings, and touring with a one-man show mixing reminiscence, Shakespeare, and poetry. Personal life and recordings. Rathbone married actress Ethel Marion Foreman in 1914, with whom he had a son, and after their 1926 divorce, he married writer Ouida Bergeret, with whom he adopted a daughter, Cynthia. A devout Anglican, he also became known for spoken word recordings of Poe, Dickens, A Christmas Carol, Peter and the Wolf, and several Sherlock Holmes stories, which further cemented his reputation as a distinguished voice performer. Death and legacy. Basil Rathbone died of a heart attack in New York City in 1967. He was only 75 and was entombed at Ferncliff Cemetery in Hartsdale, New York. Rathbone is remembered as an exceptionally polished classical actor, an iconic screen villain, and, for many audiences, the definitive Sherlock Holmes, whose portrayal continues to shape later adaptations. That was the life and career of Basil Rathbone. Who doesn't love the team of Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce? I just love Nigel Bruce. Wait till we cover Nigel Bruce. I love Nigel Bruce and Basil Rathbone together on Sherlock Holmes. They were amazing. Again, remember we were talking earlier about duos, Oliver Hardy, Abbott Costello, Martin and Lewis, right? And then we have Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce. Oh, I can go on and on, but I'll stop right there. So let me know your thoughts. What were your favorite movies and roles of Basil Rathbone? We love Basil Rathbone. I have all the Sherlock Holmes films, but you can also find all the Sherlock Holmes films on YouTube. Check them out. You'll see how great they were. Some are in color, I believe, also, or colorized. And but yeah, Basil Rathbone, he can do it all. Sometimes you're so good at what you do become typecast, and that can be a blessing and a curse. Obviously, when you get older, it's a blessing because everybody wants you to reprise a character or a scene or a role. You can make good money that way. Other times, you want to get work, and they remember you too much for that role that they'll pass on you because they won't see you as a new character. They'll see you as Sherlock Holmes. Just like everybody on the Brady Bunch. They're always going to be the Brady kids, right? No matter what they do. Oh, look, it's Cindy Brady. Look, it's Peter Brady. You're not going to say it's Mike Lookingland or it's going to be Susan Olsen. You're not going to say that. You're going to say, oh, look, it's Cindy Brady. You're all telling you, why are we talking about the Brady Bunch? Well, we should be focused on Basil Rathbone. I love Basil Rathbone and all his films. And if you haven't, just go to YouTube, type in his name. You're going to see a lot of his films. And if you already are a fan of Basil Rathbone, let me know in the comments below some of your favorite memories or roles or movies of Basil Rathbone. Thank you for joining me here at Behind the Fame. That was a look into the life and career of Basil Rathbone. Any questions, comments, or feedback, leave them below. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you all in the next video.